Hey y'all, welcome to the Road to Cowgirls at the Cowboy, where I'm taking you behind the scenes with me as I saddle up with the ladies of Cowgirls at the Cowboy, the nation's first and only 3-night all-female country music festival at Jackson Hole's iconic Million Dollar Cowboy Bar. I'm your host, Jenny Tolman. I'm a country music artist, songwriter, new mom, and the host and curator of Cowgirls at the Cowboy. And I'm so happy that you're here. Y'all, I'm so excited to introduce you to my guest today. She was named the Next Women of Country by CMT. She's recently been on tour with Luke Bryan, Brad Paisley. Ooh. No big deal. She's also a very sweet friend of mine, Mae Estes. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, thanks for being here. I'm so excited that you're coming to Jackson.
We finally have an excuse to hang out.
Yes.
We've been looking for one for years,
For
running
real.
the roads at separate directions.
Yeah. Poor Mae has probably such a funny first impression of me, because you were the first person I ever wrote with after I had my baby. I mean, he's 2.5 now, which is crazy, but it was probably 2 months after, and I was just telling Tranny Anderson this story because we just interviewed her because she's playing the night before.
I love
Jackson.
her so
She's
much.
Amazing. She was raving about you, we both were. But I was telling her, I was like, yeah, I had these bionic boobs, the pumps that were just shining through my shirt, and I was sobbing because I left my baby for the first time. So yeah, that was Mae's first impression of me.
And we had a beautiful song.
We did.
No, that was such a special and way to meet you,
Yeah.
and you had such a unique perspective that I don't have.
Mm.
I'm not a mom, and
Yeah.
no, I feel like we hit it off immediately. And
Yeah.
I'd known you before that, just watching your socials
Yeah.
and recognized your hustle
Aw,
a long
thank
time
you.
ago, and I think we bonded over that
Yeah,
also.
right back at you. Always been a fan of yours.
And now you have Sweet Bear, who is a whole other layer of our friendship.
I know, right? Bear is
one of his
actually Mae's
girlfriends.
girlfriend. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think he has a few now, but I'll let it slide till we get
Mae
more
is the
committed.
number one. She got the picture first.
He's
But
precious.
you have so much going on
Yeah.
right now.
We
so
do.
much. But before we dive into all that, let's take it back to the very beginning.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Arkansas and started singing at rodeos at age 7. National anthem, right?
Yeah, girl, you studied.
I did. And I'm I feel like that's a good omen, because isn't that how Reba got her start too?
I have done something wrong because I was trying to be just like Reba, and I'm confused why I didn't get
I think you're
discovered
very well on
and
your way.
Be made into a superstar immediately when I sang the anthem. Turns out there's just a bunch of cows back there screaming at me and things when I'm singing the anthem, and I was like, where's the record exec coming to get me?
Mm-hmm.
And so realized I had to get out of small town Arkansas, I guess, and get to Nashville to chase that Reba kind of career I've always dreamt of.
So have you always known that you were going to come to Nashville?
I think I set my sights probably around age 10, just listening to records, seeing Nashville written on everything, grew up in a household that had CMT on the TV all the time, and so everything was just tied to Nashville, it seemed, and I definitely didn't grow up in an area of the country that had a live music scene. I would play Opries and hayrides and things like that in the Arklatex, which is Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas.
Oh my gosh.
That little corner of
I've
the
never
world.
heard that before.
Yeah. But there was not a commercial scene. Nobody was doing it for a living. The business part of it was not there. And so Nashville was Music City. That's where I knew all the labels were and all the business minds. And so, I kind of just naively set my sights on, well, that's where I've got to be if I want to work with the best and learn the business part of it. So set my sights on Nashville pretty young, and then it took me quite a while to actually get here.
Yeah. Well, tell me about that. Did you grow up in a musical family? What was the inspiration? How'd you get into rodeos and all that?
My biggest inspiration with music is my mom, who is not very musical. She does love to sing, but doesn't want anyone to hear her sing. But she has a crazy obsession with music. I was just inundated with music from birth. It's such a medicinal piece of her life, and so that was passed on to me. And so really think I credit my love of country music specifically to my mom. But her dad was in a bluegrass band back in the day.
Cool.
So it runs a little bit in the genes, and that was before I came along. And so I didn't really get to have any part of that, but I think she really carried on the absolute obsession with music and the emotional attachment to it, because that's ultimately what's convinced me to dedicate my entire life and chase this crazy thing, is the feeling, the feelings that are attached to it. And I started writing songs because I was writing in diaries, and I've always been a crazy sensitive human in general. I feel everybody's feelings all the time, and I feel mine really heavily. And so when I was really young, I was having a lot of feelings I didn't know what to do with. And, you know, I've never been shy or scared to talk about them, but I was getting a lot of feedback, like, you're dramatic, or that's not how that happened. And I was like, people are telling me my truth isn't the truth. Yeah. And that's a really complicated feeling. Yeah. That still happens as an adult. But as a child, I was like, well, man, I can tell this piece of paper whatever I feel is my truth, and it doesn't tell me that's not how it is, or you're wrong for feeling that way. And I found my safe space in writing. And so that's what really started this entire journey, was having so many feelings I needed to put somewhere. And then realizing singing is a physical expression. Right. It's literally like screaming off a rooftop for me, where I just you feel vibrations in your whole body, and it's like an actual release. And so a lot of mine was like spiritual, therapeutic. Absolutely. With music motivation. And then obviously you get into like, well, I want to support, I feel like I have a gift somehow that I am able to support everyone I've ever loved if I build this thing well, and I'm able to make a difference in the world if I build it well. And artists like Dolly and Reba, you know, they inspire me to build this massive world that's bigger than music, that uses the gift we were given to really make a difference in a lot of ways. So yeah, that's the big theme of that. But yeah, started singing at rodeos when I was really young. I participated in them, just grew up in rodeo. My family always did. And so I was already there riding, and they played.
What did you ride?
Kind of everything. We grew up in 4-H, so that's always like kind of left of center activities, but definitely barrels and poles and everything. And my last FFA rodeo, I did every event. So I rode a bull, did shoot dogging, so I've kind of done a little of everything.
She's the true cowgirl at the Cowboy.
Well, I definitely had my days, and I've always loved an adrenaline rush. Yeah. Maybe that's why I chose this very unpredictable
you
career.
Better. You better love it.
But yeah, same in rodeo. And so I think, I just got brave enough to try the anthem one day, and they always played Leanne Rhymes, and I told my mom, who ran the books, I was like, you got the real deal in the flesh. Why don't you let me put Leanne to shame up there? Just give me that microphone, girl. Sung about probably like a 5 to 7 minute rendition of the anthem, changed keys about 4 times, and just gave her hell.
Do we have video of this?
Oh, girl, we have. My mama never missed a video of me singing the anthem. And the cows, literally, the cows are raw in the background.
That's so true. I've sang the anthem once at National Western in Denver, and I thought that I was going to get trampled. Yeah. There was a buck bronking in the chute so loud. I was, like, literally already shaking, because the anthem is the most terrifying song to sing. And all of a sudden, there's just, like, I'm like, oh, my God. What's about to happen?
Rodeo's trained me to do the anthem really well, because there are so many external factors. Yes. And, like, you get to NFR level, and it's like, there's pyro, don't move when you're standing, because you will explode. Yes. And it's going to be when you say this word that something's going to shoot off, and there's all kinds of things. Wow. And then I've gotten to sing for the Grand Prix before, and that's like standing on the racetrack, no ears, an echo bouncing off the stands, and you're just trying to like keep your time. And so I've had enough crazy circumstances now that I have it honed in, but I think having to ignore the cows was probably a good
ignore the cows. Thank you, cows.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. So from all of that to Nashville, You said it took you a while to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Why? And what did that look like?
Money.
Yeah, that little thing.
It is so expensive to move from your small little hometown that is 400 some odd miles away. Just uprooting my entire life was a lot of preparation. So I went to college in Arkansas before I moved and got my bachelor's degree.
In what?
That I used to wait tables when I got here. I got my bachelor's in mass media communication.
That's a great choice for what you do.
Well, and I focused in radio, so it was like radio, journalism, and some TV. So I did get experience in like reading liners.
Yeah.
You know, I had to do that kind of stuff. So I did learn a lot, but ultimately I wanted to be at Belmont, obviously, like everybody else, and was like, I want to be here, but financially,
I went to Belmont for 6 weeks and dropped out.
Oh my gosh!
I was like, what am I doing here? I'm spending so much money. I'm gonna go make a record.
So much money, and I mean,
so you didn't miss out on. I know there's so many people that went to Belmont and loved it and had great success, but just you to me or me to you, I dropped out.
No, that makes me feel better. But also just chomping at the bit to get to Nashville. Like I was just like, get me out of Arkansas. Oh my gosh, I'm behind. I'm so behind. I've got to get to Nashville. And anyways, got that degree, graduated a year early because I was like, get me there. Awesome. But moved to Nashville in 2015. Literally just started working 3 jobs at a time.
Yeah.
Did that for 5 years just to try to stay in town. Rent's high, cost of living's high. Networking is so expensive when you first move. You're trying to meet everybody you can, which costs drink money, dinner money, show tickets. Like, you're just spending money. And I'm very frugal, so I was, eating a cookout tray for 2 or 3 meals for $5. Like, I'm pretty nifty in that way and still struggling. And so then you're pouring every penny you have into music, You're, like, trying to make a demo and just, it's expensive. So my first 5 years, worked 3 jobs at a time, wrote with anyone who would write with me, networked as much as possible. I always shout out Josh Matheny on Dobro.
Love him.
One of my first friends here, and I really tapped into years of networking quickly through him.
That's great.
He is my biggest champion. Yeah. Everyone I've met in this town was pretty much somehow through a Josh introduction, and so grateful for that man and the community he had built and welcomed me into. And so nourishing all of that for those 5 years. In 2020, I was working at Tavern in Midtown, waiting tables, and got laid off like everybody else in the pandemic. And that November of 2020, signed my first publishing deal.
Oh, really?
Over Zoom.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Funny how I just needed the world to stop before I could finally get a publishing deal.
Imagine that.
And that's really when I got to start doing music full time. And though I will not take any of my 10 years away from me, I have, and long before that, if we started at 7, but really didn't get to hit the ground running until 5 years ago when I first was able to do music full time. Yeah.
And just I guess that probably solidifies a moment in you of like, oh, I'm actually doing this. Like, has there been a moment where you're like, you know what? I might actually be doing something right here.
Man, I don't know. I'm so tough on myself, and I know, like, me and you have talked about this too, where our standards just get higher. Yeah. Like,
you reach one thing, and then you're like, okay, cool, what's next?
We're on an impossible journey if we keep raising our bar every time we reach it. Yeah. So I very much am a mental health advocate. I'm in every kind of therapy you can be in, and I'm really working on trying to at least, let's raise the bar forever. Absolutely. Yeah. But can we acknowledge when we hit the bar? And can we celebrate it? And can I figure out how to internalize that joy or pride or just even acknowledgement of the goal met?
Yeah, I just played this wellness resort in Massachusetts, like we were talking about. You were in Maine. Yeah. And it was like the bougiest gig of all time. I loved it. It was like they care. It's all about your health and well-being. And so with the show, you get to do all these services. And so I did this thing called life mapping. And I was like, I have no idea what this is, but it sounds really interesting. And in this, like, big circle, she was like, write down 2 things you want to be, like, in the future, like, going forward. And I was like, confident and settled. Because I feel like settled is so, like, hard to feel in this. And I told her, I was like, I don't really know if it's possible in what I do. But she told me something that will resonate with you right now with what you're saying. She's like, well, that's fine, but do you allow yourself to savor the moments?
No,
like
girl.
when you
I'm
get them. And
I can even taste it.
I know,
What do you
I was
mean?
like, oh. Good point. Okay. Good thought. I'm going to put that in the pack.
Yeah.
So I was like, I love that. Like, savoring it. Allowing yourself to savor those moments. And you're having so many of them right now.
Yeah.
You need to be having steaks every night.
I know.
Savor that.
I just need some sleep.
Yeah, that and sleep.
That's
Steaks
the
and
luxury.
Sleep. That's the next tour, steaks and sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I'll sign up for that.
But no. I mean, what is it like? Like you've said, you've been all over the place. Brad Paisley, Luke Bryan. I mean, these are not, like, small names.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. These are superstars, like, highest level in our genre.
Yeah.
What has that been like? I mean, do you go out on stage and be like, I am here right now. This is me, Mae Estes, opening for these guys.
Yeah. I will say the whole lead up time to it, I'm very imposter syndrome. Like, oh my gosh, how is my name on this poster? And like that kind of lead up is when I feel like, how is this real? But I've been given some kind of gift that's what's held me together in this crazy business is when I hit that stage and those kind of opportunities, I have never felt more prepared for something in my whole life.
Yeah.
I am an absolute, pardon my French, shit show when it comes to every other aspect of my life. Truly, I'm a mess. But when I get on those stages, I am like, I've been preparing for this my whole life, so put me in, coach. And so we've been learning a ton. I've absolutely made 1,000 mistakes and done a million things for the first time on these big tours. And, you know, I'm just not scared to get it wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just giving it all I got and trying to get better every time. But honestly, it's been so fun.
Yeah.
We have giant stages.
Yeah.
There's these runways that catwalks that go way out into the crowd. I've never had those before, and so I'm playing.
Yeah.
It's like a playground for the first time, and I'm standing on speaker boxes in my high heels like, come on, you're getting brave, sister. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And just trying to work out all the kinks because this is the time to try to get it right. And so I really have been doing a good job of taking the pressure off myself in that situation and saying, you're not supposed to know how to do it the first time you do it. Because there's literally no way. And giving myself the grace of like, I mean, it's funny. The crowd interaction is something I'm learning because I haven't played a lot of shows where there's fans at my feet on the sides of the catwalks, and so they're handing phones to you.
I know, I was going to say, you touch the hands and you're like, what? Am I like cool right now?
And they hand you phones and I'm like, ooh, and I just look at the crowd. And I'm like, and I threw some guy's phone back to him and it landed on the ground and didn't make it over the barrier this past weekend. And I'm like, all right, well, let me learn how to, let me break your phone, sir. And so little things that you don't think about in the big scheme, but like I'm learning those kind of things. And like you said, we're on tour with legends, so I'm watching Luke Bryan every night lead a party. Yeah. Ain't nobody having a better time at a Luke Bryan show than Luke Bryan, and it's contagious.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So taking all the notes I can, man. I'm just trying to, while I'm up this close, I'm not trying to convince anybody to like love me. I am who I am at this point, and I work my butt off, and that's all I can do. Yeah. But I know it's an incredible opportunity to see this stuff up close.
Firsthand, yeah.
So I'm trying to take the good, take the bad, I've learned a lot of how I want to treat people based on how I've been treated on some of these tours. It's like, you know, an opening act isn't considered in certain things, and you know, I'm out here learning how I want my opening acts to feel, and they're on tour with me, and so yeah, good and bad, all I'm taking notes.
I love that. And another huge stage that you have gotten to go on multiple times, and I got to be there for your debut.
Yes.
Is the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh,
Tell me the story. I love hearing everybody's stories
know,
of when
the
they
best.
found out that they were invited to debut.
Oh my gosh. I'll cry again. Don't even start
Bring
with
it
me.
on. Bring it on.
That's why I have to have my glasses on to hide the tears.
We'll get some tissues.
The Opry is so special to me and you. I know. It's, oh my gosh, it's the best place in the world. It was top of my bucket list from the time I was 7 years old. That is something, again, I credit my mom for just teaching me that was the Mecca. That is the end-all, be-all of country music. It encompasses everything it was built on. That's what I was taught. So that was my dream forever. When I first got to town, one of those 3 jobs I had was working at the Opry shop at the Grand Ole Opry.
Really?
Yep. It was just on probably Indeed. Like
That's a good way to get your energy in the door.
Yeah. And I was like, I will scrub a toilet at the Grand Ole Opry. Whatever I can do to get in that building.
Yeah.
No job can suck at the Grand Ole Opry.
Right.
And I was wrong. That job did suck. Not my worst job I've ever had, because I've had some crazy jobs, but it paid absolutely barely anything.
Yeah.
And it's just retail. So you're selling picks and harmonicas. And, But I was in that building, and I got to walk in the artist entrance every day, and my scan card. And so, I mean.
Oh my gosh, what, manifestation.
Big deal.
Uh-huh.
And I had a name tag, a Grand Ole Opry name tag. And
you still have it?
So I saved it and wore it on my debut on stage.
Oh my gosh.
So full circle for me.
Wow.
But they called me. So this was in 2023. I made my debut. And I worked there in 2016. So pretty strong gap there. I probably worked there for almost a year. And so I held on to it that long. And then I got a call. It was January is when the Opry celebrates their Christmas stuff with their staff, because during Christmas they have so many shows going on.
Right.
So the Opry staff was doing their staff holiday party in January at Nissan Stadium, and I got a call saying they wanted me to come perform for their staff party because I was a previous employee.
Oh, wow.
And I had gotten to go meet the Opry team like a month before and play them my music, just introduce myself, and, and I genuinely did not think anything about it. I thought this is kind of a private event situation. Like, the way it was presented was like, because the Opry, you get to, they do a bunch of different things that are association that aren't necessarily direct access to the stage. And so I'm like, oh, I was an employee. It'll be cute. I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I bring my buddy Josh Matheny to play dobro with me. And it's me on guitar, Josh on dobro. We play probably 5 songs on this stage set up for all these Opry employees. And goes great. And I walk off the stage, and Josh stays on the stage and starts talking in the mic. Well, Josh is a nut. He is one of my favorite people in the whole world, but he is a mess on a microphone. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening here? And what does he know that hold on.
Wait a second.
And that's when I was like, but hold on, what? And he goes into a spiel, bragging on me and my journey, and said that the Opry was wondering if I wanted to make my debut on March.
Oh, so he was the
March
one who
4th.
got to ask you.
Yep. And
oh my gosh, how special is that?
Oh, and I had no idea it was coming, truly.
That's the best. That's like a good proposal when you don't know.
I mean, and I was immediately heartbroken that my husband wasn't there and my manager wasn't there. And
they weren't?
They were. I didn't know. But they didn't come with me, and they weren't supposed to be at the event. So I was just like, oh no, I wanted to share this moment with my people. And then they come out, and I'm like, oh my God. Oh. So then I FaceTimed my family, and oh my gosh. In front of the Opry staff, having that moment too was such a unique experience, I feel like, because now every time I go play the Opry, they're like, we were there when you got asked, and like we feel a part of your journey. And so
that is so special.
My Opry roots run deep, from the staff that works in the Opry shop out front, the ushers in the crowd, to every audio tech, every member of the Opry band. Like the security, I really care about everybody that works so hard to keep that big machine running at the Opry, and I'm so grateful that I got to see all sides of it.
Yeah. Well, and it's so special, too, when you feel like your peers are supporting you, and so I feel like, in a way, you are peers with the Opry staff, and then for them to be there, and you have so many moments like that. Like, I want to bring up the AIMP award.
Yes.
Because for those of y'all watching who don't know, the Association of Independent Music Publishers, they are basically the ones who run this town and, like, make things actually happen so that you hear the songs and get the songs out there. And for them to award you as a songwriter is massive.
Yeah.
You know, just the community recognizing you. I mean, I went there, I remember seeing Hardy be awarded, probably before COVID.
Yeah.
And he's obviously skyrocketed since then. So I see that happening for you 1,000%. Because, I mean, these are people who are in it day in and day out, and they work their butts off for songwriters and artists that they believe in. And so I just want to congratulate you on that. And then ask you, what's it like to feel that, like, just know that, like, oh my gosh, okay.
Well, yeah. Honestly, that's a great wraparound to your last question, which was, like, what feels like you've made it or like you did reach a goal. And I did not expect that at all. Like, she'll probably kill me for saying this. My manager, Kendall, and I had a conversation. First of all, shocked by the nomination at all. I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, it wasn't even on my goal list because I didn't think I was in the running for that kind of stuff yet.
Yeah.
And so nomination blew my mind, and then we're going to the awards at the Ryman, and I'm going to get to perform. I got to sing Megan Maroney's Tennessee Orange was one of the top songs that year, and so I was going to get to sing on the Ryman stage for the first time, and I'm talking to my manager. I'm like, do I need to have an acceptance speech prepared, like, for real? Or because I'm like, we're like not gonna we're like nominated this year, and like that's nice, but like it'll take a couple nominations before we would win, right? And we both agreed, like, probably. Like, it's a nice thought, like, but we'll probably have to have at least another year nominated. And so I was like, okay, cool, because I'm focused on performing this song on the Ryman and not peeing my pants.
Yeah.
So I really can't be writing up an acceptance speech because I don't think that's even, like, happening. And sure enough, my name gets called, and so I'm half stoked and half absolute panicked because I'm like, you can't put a microphone in front of me. I will just vomit words. And that's exactly what happened. I immediately started crying and was like overwhelmed with those people putting their stamp of approval on me. And so I think I'm always struggling with validation and how desperately I need it. Yeah. I mean, we all are. Like, don't we all just want somebody to tell us they love us?
Curse of an artist. I mean, if you don't have that, you won't keep going.
Yeah.
Right?
But that was a humongous just pat on the back, and felt like, especially this town that we want this town to pat us on the back, to, I mean, just not punch us in the teeth one day even. It's like, if you could just walk past me and ignore me instead of kicking me when you walk by, like, it feels like that sometimes. And so I was like, wow, people have been noticing, like, how hard I work, and, you know, I don't know, it just...
You had your Sally Fields moment.
Yeah, man.
They like me.
That was one where I was still trying to deny it, because I have so many issues where I'm like, oh, someone would have messed... Oh, God, you read the wrong name, didn't you? Someone messed up. This is a mistake.
Oh, my gosh.
But that was a moment where I was like, sister, you can't really deny that it took more than one person to believe in you, and you don't have any money or connections to have gotten you this. Like, somebody somewhere had to believe in what you do. And so I tried to... Celebrating that with my team, too, makes it... makes you able to celebrate it. Right. And that's something I found too, is like having friends that come out to the shows or, you know, that are experiencing these things with me. That's what makes it real. Yeah. Seeing their celebration and their joy, I almost get to see their perspective. Right. And that helps me see, oh my gosh.
It kind of puts you in the, like, moment of, oh, I do need to savor this.
Yeah, and takes you out of body and out of the hustle, hustle, hustle. This is one more check mark. It's like, oh my gosh, that's 20,000 people out there. And like, so I almost try to jump into their shoes and see it from their perspective, because you do just get numb to it,
right?
Essentially, when you're around it this much and you're chasing it, and then when you finally get it, you're like, well, of course, I've been manifesting this moment forever. So you know, you don't know what to do with it. But yeah, no, that was an unbelievable goal reached of mine that I didn't even have written down, but definitely built my confidence a little bit.
Yeah, good. And I'm here to build your confidence up even more, because you had another huge peer acknowledge you in a little known publication called the New York Times.
Casual.
And a little known artist, Miss Lainey Wilson. Like, biggest thing happening right now. Yeah. And I believe that the quote was, "It's a damn shame that more people don't know your music." Yeah. Like,
Lainey's a homie and a half, man. I can't say enough great things about Lainey Wilson, and I try really hard to not blow smoke and say stuff that I don't mean, and I mean that about her. Yeah. She has been an incredible mentor. She obviously runs the roads more than any of us combined, so I haven't gotten to spend a whole lot of hang time with her. Yeah. But any time I have, it's been so inspirational. Yeah. She inspires me to hold my integrity close and still achieve that level of success and that level of exposure and that growth of a brand. You talk about Reba and Dolly and how you're branching out into philanthropic endeavors, and you know, she's got clothing lines and she's got partners with all of these things, and like so just watching her build her business has been so inspirational. Yeah. And I am rooting for her like crazy, and I was shocked to see my name in that list of women, and I've gotten open for her a few times too, so throwing me opportunities like that, like you can't put a price on that kind of stuff, and so I certainly will never ever forget the artists like that have thrown me a bone when they sure didn't have to.
Yeah. No, that's incredible, and I love that. And I want to say, I love your voice. I've always been such a huge fan of yours because your voice is so spectacular. And I always think, I'm like, this is the closest thing to Leanne Womack I've ever heard. And it's so beautiful. Favorite voice of all time.
Oh my gosh, yes. She's the best.
And I wanted to switch to your songwriting a little bit because we talked about the AMP Awards. Yeah. I want to talk about that because you're such a brilliant songwriter too. And one of my favorite songs of yours is Good Old Boys. You played it at the listening room when we played together. And it's so powerful. And I saw firsthand how powerful that was with the women coming up to you. Yeah. Will you walk me through writing that song?
Yeah. We were on a writing retreat at a cabin in Arkansas. We were back home for kind of a hometown show, and we rented a cabin on the lake. And it was me, Autumn McIntyre, S.J. McDonald, and Marty Dodson. And we now call ourselves the Good Old Gals.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yep. We, because we wrote Good Old Boys. Yeah. And I don't think that was our first song to write together. But it was the first one where we all really felt like we put a piece of ourselves into it and said something important that we hadn't heard in that perspective before. And what I really think is special about the Good Old Gals specifically is we are a range of ages. We got a 20-something, a 30-something, and two 40-somethings. Yeah. We've all been in different facets of the industry. We all currently are in different spots in the industry, different spots in our lives. We all come from different parts of the country. Yeah. And 4 vastly different perspectives is so beneficial when you're trying to make something that everyone can relate to, or you're trying to tell a story and really fill in all sides of it. And so 4 people is arguably a lot of people in a room, but we have found such a sweet spot when we go retreat. We are also best friends on the personal side, and so we're safe with each other, and vulnerability is a given when we're together, and so that is really special in songwriting. And this retreat specifically, S.J. McDonald had the idea, you give good old boys a bad name. She had tried to write it before, actually, which is something people don't know in Nashville.
Right, yep.
Sometimes songs will get written several times, and you just, they're all end up different in the end with different perspectives with the same title, or it just finds where it's supposed to go. And so she brought it to us and said, hey, I haven't been able to hit this in the way we want, and that was because she hadn't gone deep enough.
Yeah.
And so we all had to get very candid about our experiences in life and tell a lot of really hard stories and be honest about the ugly truth of the world in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And that's what we came up with, was that incredibly vulnerable song, and pulled from a lot of true experiences from all of us, and also things we had experienced secondhand, just things we felt like somebody out there was feeling alone in feeling, and we wanted to pull that stuff out from under the rug and shine a light on it and say, just because this makes you uncomfortable doesn't mean there aren't people trying to carry it. Yeah. And also trying to do it in an elegant way, which is hard. I'm not trying to, I don't want to have a shock factor kind of song just to...
Right, do it tastefully.
Yeah, I don't want to try to make people uncomfortable on purpose. I want it to serve a purpose, but I want the people who needed to hear it to feel so seen.
Yeah.
And that's been the beauty of it, is having those people come up and say, you know, I've had women come up to me after shows and say, I'm 50 years old and I've never told.
Wow.
And that kind of stuff changes you as a songwriter.
Yeah.
And so that was all I needed. And, you know, that song is done decent. I don't even look at my streams and stuff anymore right now. I'm doing all I can to get my music out there, and that's all I can do. So I'm not watching those numbers rise or fall, because I can't do nothing different either way. But I don't care if that song ever does any more than it did, because I needed that experience, releasing that song, writing that song, and as many times as I've performed that song, to teach me that it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it to be vulnerable, because if just that one lady had spoken to me and not the 100 others that have sent me messages or whatever, it was validation that my vulnerability plays a crucial role in this.
Yeah, absolutely. And what healing you're able to bring too.
Yeah, and to
just
myself.
By releasing,
Yeah, we all have some sort of story in that.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing too I struggle with, is trying to pigeonhole my songs and be like, this is what it means.
Right.
And I'm, you know, the more I grow as a human and a writer, it's like, no, we don't actually get to decide what the listener gets out of it, and it's beautiful. But my control freak is like, no, that's not what I intended.
That little girl that was writing down her feelings, saying, you don't get to tell me how
I feel. But so that's something I definitely struggle with as a songwriter. But Good Old Boys was a specific one that taught me to let go of that a little bit, because I had to go really vulnerable and be like, okay, world, you're able to spin this on its head and manipulate it however you want, and that's so scary, but it's that's art.
That's why you got in this. And that's the gift that you were given too. And
you don't get the good without the bad in every aspect of life. So I'm trying to look at any of the negative stuff means I'm due a good card after I draw a bad one, and like it's all yin and yang. But that song was really important to my songwriting journey.
Yeah, well, and I think it opened a lot of people's eyes to a whole nother layer of Mae Estes as an artist, you know, and just all the different facets that you can cover, which is so important, especially as we know as female artists, you know, being able to do 20 different things instead of just one. And so I think it was beautifully done, and I love it. I think I texted you the day that it came out, because I was like, this is a masterpiece and so amazing. You're going to heal so many people with this. And so just the fact that you share that, thank you for sharing the story about it. And yeah, I love that, the Good Old Gals too.
Yes.
And I did see, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that I saw you played it at the Bluebird with Vince Gill.
Good Lord.
Yes. Ma'am.
Girl.
You wanna dig into that?
That was Oh my goodness. You talk about being in denial of a moment being real and it going on for like 2 hours. I was just like, my buddy Aaron Ratier.
Oh, I love Aaron.
You know.
He was just sitting there on Friday.
Oh my gosh. I thought I could smell him in this. I love Aaron. He is a nutcase in the best way. And so am I. That's why we all get along. He called me and said, let's play the Bluebird. And I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so lucky.
Yeah.
Aaron called me. He could call a bunch of people.
Do you have a Turtles jersey?
Girl, I got a Turtles jersey.
Oh my gosh, I've got mine upstairs. I should have had you bring one. We could put them all and send a picture.
I feel so lucky to be a turtle. I was like, what do you have to do? He's like, just ask for one. I'm like, you gotta make us feel more special, Aaron, than that. But called me to play the Bluebird, and he's like, who can we bring that's gonna embarrass us as a third in the round? Like, who's gonna wipe the floor with us as songwriters? And I'm like, okay, let me get to thinking. And I got friendly with Vince from playing the Opry, and I'm the kind of Opry girl that I'm up there when I'm not playing on the bill. If I have a night in town, I'm like, hey guys, any chance you could get me on the backstage list, because I'm just going to come stalk everybody and stand side stage and just live my best life. And so hanging out, kind of got to know Vince, ended up getting to write a song with Vince, which was unbelievable. I don't even know what to do with that.
Wow.
So Vince kind of became a loose friend, and so when Aaron said that, I was like, Aaron, should I call Vince Gill and see if he'll play the Bluebird with us? Is that the craziest thing you've ever heard? Aaron has more audacity than anybody else, and that's what I love about him, because what is the worst that could happen?
Right.
What's the worst that could happen, truly? And so he was super encouraging. He was like, do it. And then took me probably like 2 to 3 weeks to
really?
Because Vince doesn't text.
Oh, he doesn't?
No, Vince does not text. You have to call Vince.
Okay.
And why does a phone call feel so invasive in 2025?
It
I feel
does,
like I
though.
walked up to this man's house and like looked through his peephole just to call him. That's how I feel. I don't know. Isn't it crazy?
That's so true, though.
And so I'm like, oh God, I hype myself up for literally 2 to 3 weeks, and I call him, and he's like, May, what you doing? Or,
oh my God.
Mayflower, I don't remember, he calls me something, and I'm just like, hey, Vince, what are you doing on this day? You want to play the Bluebird? I know you don't want to play the Bluebird, but it's okay. If you want to, I was just going to ask, but it's okay. You don't have to. All right, okay, bye. And he's like, what's the day? And he's like, oh, I'm out with the Eagles the next day, but we've been flying in day of, so, like, I'm good for that. Let's do it. I'd love to. And I'm like, huh?
Are you
and
sure?
So, yeah, he's like, sounds great. So this is probably 2 months before the show.
Yeah.
So I'm like, sounds great, Vince Gill.
Oh my God.
Okay, bye, thank you. My name's Mae Estes, remember, by the way. And then, so 2 months later, the show comes. It's like 2 weeks before, and I have to call him back to just be like, hey, Vince, I know you're probably going to have to bail, huh? Like, I just want to try and get somebody in your place. Like, I'm just checking, just calling, make checker. That's fine. And he's like, no, I'll see you there. I'll be great. And I'm just like, what? So I'm truly I have aligned with this not working out. Like, I have aligned. Vince is not going to show up, but it was very kind of him to commit and to take my call at all.
Right.
Get to the Bluebird, Vince Gill is standing there, and we play around with Vince, and he plays guitar on all of our songs, and he plays all of his hits, and I get to be Patty Loveless, because, God, they're going to have to mute my mic if they want me to not sing with Vince Gill, because I was ready with my harmony parts. And then he pulls out that song we wrote.
No way!
In the round.
Oh my gosh.
Pulls out his phone so he can read the lyrics, and it's like, me and Miss May wrote a beautiful song.
How sweet
and
is that?
I thought I'd pull it out, and I'm just smiling and just tears.
Oh my god.
Because there's lights just on you, and you're in the middle of the Bluebird, so everyone's staring, and I'm just like, I'm not well. And my sweet team is sitting there staring at me, and I'm like, don't look, nobody look, it's so bad. But I did not expect that on top of it, and we all joked and laughed, and oh my God, I mean, one of the best nights of my whole life. It was just getting that kind of interaction for that long in the Bluebird, like, I couldn't have dreamt that up.
Nashville dreams are made of.
Right?
You couldn't write that better.
Overwhelmingly incredible. And Aaron obviously was such a crucial piece of that too,
Yeah.
and played it so
He's
well.
ridiculous.
And
I love it.
I had no idea what to expect from him. You know, I was
Yeah.
like, "Are you gonna play my friend Ben? My friend Ben. Like, are you gonna play your real stuff, Aaron? Because we got Vince Gill sitting
Right.
over here. What are we doing today, buddy?" But we all roasted each other and jokes, and
I love it. Had Aaron met Vince before?
I don't think so.
Okay. Oh my gosh. That's so cool.
Crazy.
That is so cool.
It really
Oh my
was.
gosh. And I saw it too. Speaking of that song that you wrote, you guys just sang that on the Opry, right?
Just a few days ago, we got to
Like
sing
another
that
no
on
big deal. Okay.
And that was another, like, I'm pulling from Aaron's audacity. A word I'm carrying around lately is absolute audacity. Girl, you just believe it. Because the worst they can do is tell you no, and good Lord, I've heard that a time or two. So put it in my pocket and keep going. So I called Vince because we both were on the bill the same night.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to ask. And called him and said, "Hey, Vince, how you doing? Saw we're both on the Opry. Would you want to sing a song together?" And he said, "What were you thinking?" And I was like, "Well, I guess we could do our song we wrote together." And he's like, "Oh, have you been playing it?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, of course." No, hell no, I have not been playing it. And so I did play it for the next, 10 hours before we went to the Opry, because Vince was like, "Well, I'll just sing it with you and you play it." And I'm like, "I would love to play guitar in front of you, Vince. That'd be amazing. Please let me do that." So I literally study this. I'm ready to play it on guitar. I know the lyrics forwards and backwards. I know the harmony parts. I know the lead parts. I've played it in a few different keys in preparation. I am nerdy. I'm as prepared as I possibly can be. And we get there and he's like, "All right, I got the band. Have you heard my cut of it yet?" Or I got the band ready. And I'm like, no, I haven't. Okay, no, I haven't.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
my preparation. I did not get, sir. And anyways, we run through it real quick in the dressing room, and then we're thrown out to the wolves. But standing actually in the circle with Vince, when he opened his mouth and sang, because I started with the first verse and then he did the second verse, and I was levitating.
Yep, as I can imagine. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I don't even, what do you even do with that? Truly.
I don't know, because I feel like he does put off that energy, because the one and only interaction I've ever had with him, I was actually interviewing him for, oh my gosh, this is so bad that I'm not even remembering the name. It was one of those, not country now, but they had called me to fill in, because I had done an interview as an artist with them, and they were like, "Hey, would you want to try actually interviewing?" And I was like, "Oh, Country Insider," that's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, "Sure." And I was so pregnant. I was 9 months pregnant. He was going to pop out in a few weeks. And I was like, "Okay, sure." And it was the Dottie West Bash that Jeannie Seeley puts on every year.
Girl, Jeannie.
I know, and we'll talk about her after this. And so they're like, "Yeah, you're going to be interviewing all the artists who are performing backstage." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And so we've got the Warren Treaty and Tess Frizzell. And then all of a sudden, Vince Gill walks in just with his guitar on his back. And I'm like, "Hello, Mr. Vince Gill."
I know.
And I said to him in this interview, I was like, "Well, you've done pretty well for yourself, Mr. Vince." I'm like, what did I just say to Vince Gill? I was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so pregnant and I cannot think right now, and you're Vince Gill." So I don't blame you. He's got that energy around him.
But he is also the smallest ego I've ever seen on an artist. No one's told him he's Vince Gill. He
walked in with his guitar up his back, and he's like, "Oh, hey, nice to meet you." And I'm like, "Oh, you're Vince Gill."
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's inspiring because he truly is in it for the music and has somehow straddled that stardom and can turn the ego on enough to step into those shoes in a performance. But his other side of it is, I was given this gift that I really don't have anything to do with, and I'm here to share it with as many people as possible. And I've had a lot of accolades associated with that, and that's incredible, but that isn't defining for him as a character, and it is so
a breath
inspirational.
Of fresh air. Yeah.
But yeah, we've all looked stupid in front of Vince Gill.
Yeah. Okay, good.
It's a rite of passage.
I'll join that club.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I mentioned Jeannie.
Yes.
And I know Jeannie was so special to both of us.
Yeah.
And for anyone watching, Jeannie Seeley, legend, Miss Country Soul, we just lost her a few weeks ago. And She was one of my biggest supporters
Yep.
in town, and I just loved her to death. She lived right down the road. We would go see her, and we got to do a duet together. And I know that you guys recently got to do a duet together as well.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
What a special gift for her to leave behind for us.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has been saying, like, oh, I wish you and her would have got to sing that on the Opry together, or like all of these things. And while I would have loved to have that memory, what an unbelievable lifetime gift no one can ever take away from us that we got to do songs with her.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless of that we got to know she believed in us.
Exactly.
And she made sure of that.
Yeah.
Just to get to sit down and speak to that woman is such a gift.
Yeah.
And so everything on top of just getting to meet her is icing on the cake for me. And I am so sad that we don't get to have her anymore, but I do know that no one has built a better legacy than that woman. And I was in the Grand Ole Opry for my last performance in the Women of Country dressing room, and she is framed on that wall and has her little smirky
I love it.
look at you. And as soon as I walked in there, that picture hit me, and I was like, Jeannie's not gone anywhere that she didn't want to go.
Right.
Trust me. Like, Jeannie is in a new chapter in her life in heaven, but she is still very much in charge of that Opry, and I felt her with me on that stage, just like she would be standing side stage watching me before. And I think she has made such an impact on country music, and specifically women in country music, that no one can undo what she's worked so hard to do.
The first time we ever went over to her house, she goes, y'all want a glass of wine? And poured us some wine, and we just talked for hours, and she told us all these stories about different doors she had kicked down. I mean, all the one-liners that she's got for, like, putting people in their place. The mini skirt, she wore the first mini skirt on the Opry ever.
She did.
And when they tried to tell her to stop, she said, well, when you tell the girls coming to the shows that they can't wear mini skirts, then I'll stop wearing them.
No kidding.
And so there was never another mention of it ever again. So, I mean, she's just, like you said, for women, especially in country music, leaves behind such a legacy for us. And I'm so glad that we both have such special memories with her. Yeah,
she's an insane influence, and to so many people who don't even realize it, that didn't get to meet her. But just the skirt thing, she was on the bill my debut, and I wore a purple jumpsuit, long sleeves. I mean, you literally couldn't see any of my body, but it had a deep V. And I don't have any boobs, mind you, so we didn't have no boobage showing, don't worry. But it was a deep V, and she posted a picture of me and her on her Facebook. And her fans ate my lunch.
Really?
And was like, so disrespectful to country music, hoochie, whatever. Like, put some clothes on. I'm like, ma'am, you can't even see my wrists. But it was so funny. I got to talk to her the next time I saw her at the Opry, and, talking about, she was just like, oh my gosh, and went into her spiel on, and then wore a remake of her outfit with her midriff showing shortly after. But she was so reassuring and like, girl, don't, that, use that as fuel.
Right.
If you're ruffling a feather, this term can be misconstrued, but it's like, if you're ruffling a feather, you are doing something right to an extent, and you're not going to get anywhere without the resistance. Like, you're not moving forward if you're not getting some kind of resistance. And so she taught me that lesson. But it was so funny that her fan base on Facebook were the ones eating me alive, and I'm like, this is the woman that encouraged all of us to do this. And I don't even know what bone this is called, but if you're seeing my chest bone,
your sternum,
if my sternum's offending you, ma'am, you probably shouldn't listen to my cheating songs or anything like that. But Jeannie endorses me. So,
oh my gosh!
But no, I keep Jeannie Seeley in the back of my mind always to remind me that not only can you be honest and authentic and give them hell, like, you got to.
Absolutely. And you just mentioned your cheating song. Thinking about cheating, that took off on TikTok.
Yeah.
And you recently had another song that took off on TikTok,
Yeah.
Mr. Fix It. How integral, because it's so different
Yeah,
just
they are.
in the last, like... How integral has TikTok been in your career?
Yeah.
And that's, like, such a new facet of our industry that I feel like you're doing such a good job at.
Girl. Well, back at you. I feel like me and you, we have the same struggles on socials for sure. It is a double-edged sword, man. There are so many hard things about it that are impossible. I think it's so sad to use it as a gauge of talent these days. But on the other side, it is one more tool in our belt to reach people. And there are definitely still parameters on it, but a lot less than you have in other departments. And so I dove in 2020 like everybody else did when I got laid off from my 3 jobs. Turns out I had a lot of free time and also a mental breakdown. When I wasn't working 3 jobs, I was like, oh my God, I got just me and my thoughts all day. What do you mean? And dove in wholeheartedly, really started to find my people by being consistent with it. And then, you can't pick the songs you think are going to connect because they're not the ones that work. But had some very different songs connect. That cheating song was still actually inspired by the same man that inspired Mr. Fix It, which is hilarious. Got married to my sweet husband in 2020 and wrote Thinking About Cheating based on a conversation we had, jokingly, probably driving back from our wedding in Arkansas, where I was like, let's talk about infidelity. You know, it's like,
just some light conversation.
We should have done this before we got married, probably, but like, what's our cheating? What do you feel about cheating? And, because if you do it, I'll kill you. But let me sorry, casually, but no, really, I'll kill you and her. And I was like, listen, I think, honestly, if I was ever thinking about cheating, I think I would tell you. I'm so blunt as a person, and I think it's part of that songwriter diary. I just, honesty pours out of me, and trust me, I wish I had a better grasp on that. But I was like, I think I would just be like, hey, something's missing between us. And I'm feeling the need to go find it elsewhere. And he listens to me and lets me go on, or doesn't listen to me, rather, which is probably why our marriage is so healthy, because he's learned to tune me out in certain ways. But I brought that into a Zoom, right? I had, like, the next week with Alex Klein and Autumn McIntyre.
Oh, I love Alex.
And we got this beautiful, simple song, but interesting concept. But the conversation itself is kind of simple. It's like, what would that look like if you came home one day and told your husband that something's dead here because I'm all of a sudden thinking about cheating, and I ain't done it, but I am having these crazy vulnerable feelings, and who else to bring them to besides the person I'm in this commitment with? And so just a super, super unique flip on that I hadn't heard. And then whole other flip side of that, Mr. Fix It. And that was true to a T, authentic, our love story.
Oh, I love that.
My sweet husband is a mobile mechanic in town, and so he's a lot of people's Mr. Fix It. I share him with the music community especially, and wrote that with Jada Dreyer, Alex Klein, and Marty Dodson. And it was so easy. I was like, I have this Mr. Fix It. You know, I think I'm in love with my husband. Is that okay? Because I'm so good.
How dare you?
I know. I'm so good.
That's the worst thing to be as a songwriter.
And cheating on them and hating men. I'm really good at that. And I was like, I think I like one man at least. Is that okay? And so I'll just let myself be gross and honest. And I was like, this is so nice. But... And I just had a great demo from Alex Klein, who's an incredible female producer. She was, I'm pretty sure, the first female producer.
We talked about her on, because she produces Tiger Lily Gold.
Yeah.
And they played, was it last year at the festival? And so we talked all about Alex on their podcast episode. We love Alex.
Oh, yeah.
Because I knew Alex from Dave, like, way back.
Yeah. She's a legend, and her demos are incredible. Yeah. So we had written this song, and she plays a million instruments and built this crazy track, and so she sent it over, and I'd been jamming it. It was such a catchy, like, chorus melody too, and so I was like, let me just put this on TikTok, and you never know. You really
Right.
don't. But we should consider every time we put up it going. And I didn't expect it, but it did. And I had over 1,000 people use the sound from that one
Wow.
video. And that's a really good mark for like marketing success analytically on TikTok is the UGC, which is the user generated content. So when you have people taking a sound and making their own content with it, that's usually really promising. And this was my first song to really have its own life that way. And women were just bragging on their men, and some husbands, some brothers, some dads, some grandpas, like people were, again, I'm like, no, this is about my sweet man who holds my heart together and fixes my car. But it was like, no, this is my daddy or this is my grandpa. And I was just like, wow. And so people made all these videos and it took on its own life. And so, of course, label and everybody was like, we putting this out or we putting this out? And I was like, you ain't got to twist my arm. I love this song. And so it's funny. We do actually play them back to back in the live band set. So it's
That's funny.
Cheating, and then I'm like, well,
here's for the TikTok crowd.
That didn't piss you off, or here, let me try to fix it up here.
I do actually love my husband.
Yeah, so a little bit of everything, but it's I mean, TikTok played a crucial role in anyone even hearing those songs.
Right.
So really grateful for that.
So you've put it out, and you mentioned your label. What's label life like? Because that's such a peak moment for every artist to sign with a label, but it's always a different story. Nobody has the same experience, and like you said, sometimes you have to wait until something's actually popping off for them to be like, okay, are we releasing this?
Yeah, I think a label deal was definitely what I set my sights on before I moved to Nashville.
Yeah.
That's just what I had learned meant resources and expertise and your champions and financial support and a network of connections. Like, those are the things I was convinced a label brought you.
Yeah.
And so I do think we all chase it as that pinnacle.
Yeah.
And that was a misconception I had to work through immediately, because your work begins from scratch almost when you sign a label deal. And you get a team of 200 people added, and I was indie before that, so it was me completely by myself for a while. And then when I signed my publishing deal, I eventually stole my publisher to my management, and she's a first-time manager and has no management company, and so it was just us two doing everything. And we independently released an EP like that. And so I had done a lot of different, I'd worn a lot of different hats before signing the label deal. And so my biggest kink to work out was me being in control of everything that I do.
Yes.
And having people to help me with that, and learning how to let them pry it out of my cold, dead hands, because you also get too busy to do it all, and it's just not sustainable. I can spin 10 plates. I've done it. I'm not spinning any of them well, and I'm not enjoying it. Yeah. So I'm in the process of, okay, can I, I think I can comfortably let you take care of this plate. Okay, and I'll just check in, and I'm going to work on these. And so the biggest struggle with adding to my team in general is fighting the control freak that you feed when you're independent.
Yeah.
Because nobody does it if you don't do it.
Yeah.
And it's not, absolutely. And it's not a switch you can turn off. And I think the industry expects us to be like, we've got it now, so step away.
Yeah.
And something I also struggle with is, like, I get to work with incredible people around me who have skills and the expertise in all of these things, but those people are also not me. Yeah. And they also only know me in the context that we've gotten to hang around. Right. Like, you meet everyone at the label after you sign sometimes. Like, you usually have a few relationships you're nourishing, and then you get these 200 people, and you may have one coffee together, and they're supposed to go represent my entire brand and vision from 30 minutes they spent with me. Yeah. And so as an artist, that is a hard part I have where I'm like, I do feel the need to be involved in so many conversations because the goal is to eventually build a team that knows me and my perspective and my vision and my brand well enough to make those decisions on my behalf or to at least have a better streamlined system.
Yeah.
But for a while, you're all trying to get to know each other. Mm-hmm. And it's a struggle.
Yeah.
You know, because this is not a product that you're just trying to make the best product you can. There is emotion and feelings and personality and perspective layered in this cake we're making, and there are lots of crucial ingredients and they all have to pair well together. So
that's a really great way of wrapping that all together into a beautiful cake, which is going to come out as a beautiful cake.
And we love a cake, but I ain't the best baker. I don't know about you.
Well, you got lots of cooks to help you out now, which is a blessing.
If I'll listen to them.
Yeah, right? Well, and you're talking about, you know, putting all that together and having a project. You mentioned you have an EP coming.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
October 10th.
Woo!
Which I hear there's another special event happening.
There is. We were actually throwing you a party.
Oh,
you know, you didn't realize that.
God, that is so sweet. Should I invite Vince Gill or what?
I mean, it sounds good to me.
Vince,
I'll still be really awkward. But
me too.
It'd be great. We can throw a wig on him. He'll be a cowgirl at the Cowboy.
I have just now stopped introducing myself to Vince when I see him. Like, that's Mae. He's like, please. I know who you've been to my home. And I'm like, I just talked to my home. Mae Estes, Maeste. I'll show you a picture of it. But no, I'm so excited for the EP. We've had a couple singles come out already. We shot some really fun content. Yeah. Content is a word I despise most of the time.
I know.
And I'm actually starting to have a lot of fun with it.
Good.
Which I credit to the people around me and it just being really fun bringing these songs to life. And so I'm really excited to share the visuals and everything. Music is obviously my favorite part, and the band is killer. I've got legends like Joe Spivey playing fiddle on it, and Lonnie Wilson on drums, and it's just, I mean, one of my references, the next single coming out actually is called Drunk on that, and my reference track was Neon Moon as far as kind of tempo, kind of vibe, just sometimes you give a reference track to your studio session players just to kind of give a vibe, and Neon Moon, and so they go in the tracking room and Lonnie brings his snare out and comes back in there and goes, hey, that shouldn't be a problem because I played Neon Moon on this kit in this studio, actually.
Stop.
And me and my producer, Paul Sykes, were just like, what do we do with that? I'm like, that's not real. And so just experiences like that, getting to create music is like, that's the Nashville dream right there. And those people who played a literal role in creating the music that inspired me to move to this town, that stuff matters to me.
Yes. Absolutely.
So very excited for the EP coming out. We are still touring with Luke Bryan a little bit more, and new shows coming in all the time, and I am so excited for our show.
Gosh,
I've been looking forward to it.
Have you been to Jackson Hole?
I have, but it's been probably 3 years.
Okay.
So due time.
Yes. I'm so excited for you to be up there. They're going to love you. It's going to be so fun.
That bar is epic also.
We're definitely going to take pictures on the saddles.
The saddles are so sick. I remember seeing it. We got to go in there for just a minute, like have a drink.
Yeah.
My vibe for sure.
Yeah, it's such a magical place. And like the people in the town are just my favorite thing ever. I'm just like, I love bringing everybody up for the music, obviously, but just the experience around it. We're going to have such a good time. So,
well, you've been loving on me a lot, too, and I need to give you some flowers because you are such a champion
for
other artists and women.
You're so sweet.
And I just want you to know, like, organizing things like this and bringing in people. Like I have seen you do that for years, where it does not go unnoticed that you lift other people up as a full-time job. Like,
thank you.
And that is so, so important, and I respect it so much. And I'm so grateful to be your friend and to get to be a part of this show.
I'm grateful right back at you. Look at us, we're being so nice and gross to each other.
I mean
just
it. Yeah. Thank you so much.
That means a lot to me. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And it means so much to me that you came today and that you're coming to Jackson Hole. So thank you so much for being here. Y'all be sure to check out Mae's EP, October 10th. It's going to be amazing. I already know. Amazing. Sorry, that was annoying.
Write it down.
But y'all be sure to check it out, and we will see you in Jackson Hole very soon. Thanks, Mae.
Thank you.
Thank y'all so much for listening. Tickets are now on sale for Cowgirls at the Cowboy. I hope to see you there. Visit milliondollarcowboybar.com for more info.